Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in the life of every chosen one when a difficult decision must be made. A decision that shakes the very foundation of their existence. It is the moment they realize that to fulfill their purpose, to reach their highest potential, they must walk away from the familiar faces of friends and family, and growth is a journey that demands transformation, and transformation often requires separation. For those who are destined for something greater, those we call the chosen ones, this process is not just necessary but inevitable. The environments we are born into, the people we grow up with, and the relationships we cultivate all shape who we are. However, they also create a set of expectations, identities, and limitations that can prevent us from reaching our full potential. To break free, to truly evolve, the chosen ones must recognize when it is time to walk away. From the moment we enter the world, we are conditioned by the beliefs, fears, and limitations of those around us. Our families, though they love us, often project their own insecurities onto us. They may want us to succeed, but only within the framework they understand. Friends, who have known us for years, may unconsciously resist our growth because it challenges their own sense of identity. When we begin to change, when we step into a higher version of ourselves, the people closest to us might not celebrate it. They might fear it. This fear does not always come from malice, it comes from familiarity. People are comfortable with what they know, and when a chosen one starts to evolve beyond their old self, it disrupts that sense of comfort. A childhood friend might say, "You've changed," as if it's a bad thing. A family member might question your dreams, not out of hatred, but because they do not understand them. This is where the chosen one faces a crucial decision. Remain in the comfort of the past, or step into the unknown future. Staying in the same environment can feel safe, but safety is not the path to greatness. Growth demands discomfort. It requires stepping into spaces where we are no longer surrounded by voices that doubt us, but by energies that challenge and inspire us. The chosen ones are literally chosen by wealth. If they remain in environments that no longer support their evolution, they risk suffocating their own potential. This is not an easy realization. Walking away from friends and family can feel like betrayal. It can bring guilt, loneliness, and moments of doubt. But the truth is, by choosing to grow, you are not abandoning them, you are honoring yourself. And in doing so, you set an example. You become a beacon of what is possible, showing others that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace. There will be resistance. People may try to pull you back into old habits, old conversations, old versions of yourself. They may mock your ambitions or dismiss your new mindset. This is because your growth highlights their stagnation. It forces them to confront the parts of themselves they have been avoiding. Not everyone will be ready for that. Not everyone will want to see you succeed. But the chosen ones do not live for validation, they live for purpose. They understand that growth is a lonely road, but it is also a rewarding one. The farther they walk, the more they realize that separation was not an act of rejection, but an act of self-love. New opportunities, new mentors, and new connections begin to appear, ones that align with their higher vision. And so when the time comes to walk away, do so with courage. Do so with the understanding that true evolution requires shedding the past. Do so knowing that your journey is not about proving yourself to those who doubt you, but about becoming who you were always meant to be. Not everyone is meant to walk the path of a chosen one. The journey toward greatness is a solitary road, one that demands sacrifices that most people are unwilling to make. While family and friends may be an important part of our lives, they are not always meant to accompany us into our future. Some people belong to our past, not because they are bad, but because their purpose in our story has already been fulfilled. Holding on to relationships that no longer serve our growth only delays the inevitable. The greatest struggles for those destined for something greater is the realization that they cannot take everyone with them. When a person begins to rise, they will often look around and see that the people they once laughed with, struggled with, and depended on no longer resonate with their evolving mindset. This is not a sign of arrogance. It is a natural part of growth. As a person changes, so do their needs, their desires, and their energy. Some people will match that growth. Many friendships and familial bonds are built on shared experiences rather than shared vision. People come together because of common struggles, similar interests, or familiar circumstances. But when one person starts to break free from old patterns, when they start thinking differently, dreaming bigger, and aiming higher, those connections can become strained. The people who once felt like home may start to feel like an anchor, not because they wish harm, but because they do not understand the need for change. The chosen one must recognize that not everyone will support their journey. Some people will project their own fears onto them, saying things like, "That's too risky," "You've changed," or "Why can't you just be happy with what you have?" These statements are not reflections of reality. They are reflections of the limitations that others place on themselves. The chosen one must resist the temptation to shrink themselves to make others comfortable. Growth is about expansion, and expansion requires leaving behind what no longer fits. One of the most painful lessons in life is realizing that love does not always mean alignment. You can love someone deeply and still recognize that they are not meant to walk the path with you. Family bonds, childhood friendships, and long-term relationships are powerful, but they should not be chains. If being around certain people requires you to suppress your true self, your ambitions, or your purpose, then staying connected to them is not love, it is self-betrayal. There will be moments of doubt. Walking away is never easy, and the fear of loneliness can make people second-guess their decisions. But true alignment is worth more than temporary comfort. The chosen one must trust that as they move forward, the right people will appear, the ones who truly support their vision, who inspire them to grow, and who celebrate their success instead of feeling threatened by it. It is also important to understand that leaving people behind does not mean cutting them off with resentment or anger. It simply means recognizing that their role in your life has shifted. Some relationships may fade naturally, while others may require conscious detachment. The key is to walk away with love and gratitude, understanding that every person you meet serves a purpose, even if that purpose is temporary. The path of the chosen one is not meant to be understood by everyone. It is a path that demands courage, sacrifice, and the ability to let go. Not everyone is meant to walk it, and that is okay. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right environment will reveal themselves in time. Until then, the chosen one must move forward, carrying only what truly serves their highest purpose. Walking away from friends and family is never easy, and for the chosen ones, this journey often comes with a deep sense of loneliness. However, this loneliness is not a punishment. It is a transition. It is the space between who they were and who they are becoming. It is the period of isolation that prepares them for the alignment they seek. When chosen ones step away from the relationships that no longer serve them, they are not just losing people, they are making room for the right ones to enter their lives. Loneliness is one of the hardest things to endure, but it is also one of the most powerful teachers. When the chosen ones find themselves alone, they are forced to sit with their thoughts, their emotions, and their truth. They no longer have the distractions of people who do not understand them, nor do they have the comfort of old familiar connections that once kept them anchored to their past selves. In the space of solitude, they begin to understand who they truly are, free from the expectations and limitations that others have placed upon them. This period of isolation is crucial because it allows for deep self-reflection. Many people go through life surrounded by noise, constantly seeking validation from others, afraid of being alone with their own thoughts. But the chosen ones must embrace this solitude. It is in this stillness that they discover their true purpose. It is where they reconnect with themselves, their dreams, and their calling. Without this necessary period of separation, they may never fully understand the depth of their own potential. However, the loneliness that comes with walking away is temporary. At first, it may feel as though they have lost everything: familiar faces, old friendships, the sense of belonging. But over time, something incredible happens. As they continue to align with their higher purpose, they start to attract people who truly resonate with them. These new connections are not based on history, convenience, or obligation. Instead, they are built on shared vision, mutual growth, and authentic understanding. The chosen ones begin to realize that the relationships they left behind were necessary for one stage of their life, but not for the next. They understand that forcing old connections to fit into a new reality only leads to frustration and disappointment. Growth demands that they make space for new relationships, ones that uplift them rather than hold them back. The key to finding these new connections is trust. The chosen ones must trust that the universe, life, or fate, whatever they believe in, will guide them to the right people. They must resist the urge to fill their loneliness with temporary distractions or return to relationships that no longer align with their journey. Instead, they must stand firm in their solitude, knowing that true alignment takes time. This shift in relationships is not just about finding new friends or mentors. It is about stepping into a reality where every connection is intentional. The chosen ones no longer settle for relationships based on convenience. They seek depth, meaning, and purpose in every interaction. The loneliness they once feared becomes a source of strength because it taught them self-sufficiency. They no longer rely on external validation to feel whole. And when the right people finally arrive, there is no doubt, no questioning, no need to force anything. The chosen ones recognize them instantly because they vibrate at the same frequency. These new relationships feel effortless, natural, and inspiring. They challenge each other to grow, to push past their limits, and to step fully into their destiny. In the end, loneliness is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced. It is the bridge between an old life and a new one. The chosen ones must understand that walking away is not just about leaving behind what no longer serves them. It is about walking towards something greater. And once they step fully into alignment, they will realize that they were never truly alone. They were simply making space for the people who were meant to walk with them all along.